Hey Rifters, I'm AlphaXX and this is the guide to the Dimensional Distance Indicator. So, what is a Dimensional Distance Indicator? It's basically a ruler and a protractor. So a ruler so you can measure the distance between each item or the center of this item here to the end, or so you can measure angles of the items if you want them to be at an angle. So first of all, where do we get it? It's in the store, on the dimensions sections, and then you go into interactive, then go on to tools. The dimensional distance indicator is there. So now we have got that, we can place it down on the ground, and as we can see here, it's this little ball which shows the center of the item. Now we can see that it's got on the ground, there's loads of numbers everywhere. Here is scary. No, it's pretty simple. So from here, from the center it goes out by 5 meters, which is the red ring. Each gap between each line is 5 meters along. So we've got 5 meters, 10 meters, 15, and all the way up to 30 meters. So it goes quite far out, so we can measure distance pretty far. So each one has their own colors, so we don't get mixed up with any other things. But make sure that each gap is only 10 meters across, so easy for you to figure out. And it also goes in a complete circle, so it's easy for you to do it in any direction. So as we can see here, this is on the north from it, but as we come out from here, it goes by 15 meters away from the center, so from that pole over there. And we can also still do it from over here, which is 5 meters from it over there by the indicator. As we can also bring it back down, so it's 15 meters also. So it's nice, a nice pitch gap here, a nice rectangle here. We can also use it to measure, like for example, this football stadium. Measure the gap, make sure that it's completely square or rectangle, so that you can have a nice, perfect space that is accurate. It also works out the angles of things because it's a protractor too. So as we can see here, it goes from 0 to 90 and 0 to 90. It doesn't go all the way around. So if you want to measure the rest of it, like somewhere else, you can still see that each gap is there and each gap is by 10. But we can also, if we still want the numbers, we can tilt it around, and for example, we can put it on here. So as we see with these lines that I've placed down, the flesh decoration, we can move this around, and now it's this line here is now 20 degrees from this line. So move it again, now it's 40 and all the way around to 90, which is a right angle pretty much. So we can place it here on, for example, on 40 degrees. We can bring in an item, for example, a door maybe. If we put it onto the move X and Y, if we put the center of each point on this line that I have set up, we can then tilt it on the yawn, for example, and now we have an item that is on this angle here, which from the center would be 45 degrees if you put a wall up here, for example. But we can now see that we got a nice straight item which is at degrees that you might want it to be if you use the dimensional indicator. So you can use it to put items down and make it so that different angles from each other, measure them so they are different far apart from each other. Example like that. Dimensional indicator doesn't work when it gets tilted, it gets bugged out, and as we can see it goes inaccurate, so never use the blue or red tilters, which is the pitch and roll. Always use the yawn, which is the green. So make sure you use that. And as we come outside, it also works on hills and stuff like that. So they're still accurate, but if they get too steep, it won't show. And it also works if there's items above it. So it'll also show it on the item as we have there, and it'll also show underneath. That's really it, Rifters, for what the dimensional indicator is, distance indicator is. There isn't really much more to say apart from that. I've been AlphaXX, and thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe this video and watch all the other videos on this channel. See you later, Rifters.